Hello guys and welcome to Football Fan Den UK. So a short notice live stream tonight. Obviously come on from work, I've seen the news with regards to Steve Bruce and I have got to jump on and have a stream and I've done the stream. I could have done a pre-recorded video, but I wanted to give you guys a chance to have your say as well with regards to what has happened with Steve Bruce. I am certainly going to have my say. It's probably going to be controversial, my opinion. Obviously I've seen a lot of what fans have got to say, and I'm not, as you guys know that know me, I'm not one to follow the crowd. I think for myself. I do not be influenced by what other people think. I just have my own opinion and I stick to it. So guys, please do hit that like button. It helps with the visibility. It'd be much appreciated. And also, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. So guys, Steve Bruce gone. I have put it on the title that he has been sacked because he is not fashionable, and that is because that is what I think. Obviously, Newcastle fans are going to point to the last run of results, but I will give you a counterbalance argument to that, guys, and that is that the fans have not liked him since the day he stepped into the club. That has had an impact on the players' mentality, in my opinion. If you see some of the comments on social media from the players, they hold him in quite high regard. Some really positive comments coming from some of the Newcastle players with regards to Steve Bruce, and I think that gives you a clear indication that maybe some of the players kind of lost focus a little bit because they've seen the way the fans thought of Steve Bruce. That's just my opinion. You might have a different one. You're entitled to it, and that is why I'm doing the live stream, so you guys can have your opinion. But I've got to say, guys, I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted because Newcastle United is a club that I hold in high regard. Why? Because I see the fans. I see how passionate they are. I see how much they love that club. I see how much they are starved of success. And I have the utmost respect and sympathy for the Newcastle fans in respect of what them wanting to their club to achieve success and climb the table. I totally understand that, and they have my full support with that. But let's get to the bones of it, guys. The reality is, Steve Bruce, in my opinion, didn't do that much worse than oh, he's gone out of my head now. Dan Rafa Benitez. Sorry, guys. Obviously, I'm eager to have my say, so the name went out of my head. When Rafa Benitez came in the club, Newcastle actually got relegated under Rafa Benitez. Yes, they came straight back up. And yes, Rafa Benitez probably did slightly better with general results overall. But let's be honest, guys. Steve Bruce kept him up last season. Yes, the run of results has been bad. But, like I've said, fans was calling for his head. Fans were booing him. Fans didn't want him at the club. This has an impact on players. And if you don't think that that has an impact on players, I don't know what football you guys are watching. Seriously, I know that a lot of fans are very knowledgeable about football. But let's be honest. If you think that fans booing a manager, calling for him to be sacked, does not have an impact on the players, then I'm sorry, that what world are you living in? It does. It has an impact on the players. And I am absolutely disgusted to see fans of Newcastle calling for a manager to be sacked that is from the same part of the country as they are. He is a Geordie. He loved that club. And the club has announced that he's left by mutual consent. I'm not having that, guys. He is not left by mutual consent. He has been forced out. Let's have it right. He's been forced out because his face doesn't fit, because he's not fashionable, because he's not a clicky manager. Well, that's an absolute disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace because we don't like it when people disrespect our clubs. We don't like it when pundits disrespect our clubs. When the TV media don't give our club enough coverage, we don't like it. So why are fans degrading and disrespecting a manager whose heart is in the right place? Yes, I agree. The last run of results have not been good enough. But that is because of the circumstances, guys. He has been under pressure since the day he walked into the job. He has not had the backing of the club, other than Mike Ashley, who didn't give a. Let's be honest, he didn't care as long as Steve Bruce kept him in the Premier League. That's all he was bothered about. He didn't get an awful lot of support from Mike Ashley. He certainly didn't get any support from the fans. So he was up against it right from the start. I'm absolutely disgusted, guys. I will not come on this channel and have a go at fans very often. This channel is for fans. You guys that know me, you know I'm very passionate about speaking up for fans, but occasionally it is necessary to criticise fans. I know it's not all Newcastle fans, I know that, but there is a lot of Newcastle fans that have been calling for him to be sacked, been calling for him to be got rid of, and I'm just stunned, guys. I'm stunned because it's wrong that the club are categorising it and saying that he's left by mutual consent. I'm not having that, guys. He is not left. When he took that job, he said that it was the dream job for him. So why would he want to leave? Why would he want to leave? He hasn't wanted to leave. He's been pushed out the club. And the fans have contributed to that. The fans have contributed to the fact that the players haven't been putting in the performances because they've seen the hostility, the animosity towards the manager. And it's played a part in their mentality when they take to the field. It really has, guys. And I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. Obviously, you guys might have a different opinion. That is why I'm doing the live stream, so you guys can have your say. But for me, guys, I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted because I hold Newcastle fans in such high regard as a football fan. It's not my club. You all know my club. My club is Bolton. And I should technically hate Newcastle because they stole my club's best manager, they stole my club's best captain. But do I hate them? No. I respect the club because they was trying to achieve. They did what they needed to do. Yes, it came at a disrespect and also it came at a cost to my club, Bolton. But as far as Newcastle are concerned, I looked at the bigger picture and recognised that the manager moved on thinking that he was going to move on to a bigger and better club and where he could achieve success. The captain, Kevin Nolan, did the same, moved to Newcastle thinking he could achieve bigger and better things. And the Newcastle fans treated Big Sam with disrespect as well. So I'm stunned, guys. I'm speaking honestly. I'm speaking from my own personal experiences as a football fan and also my own personal beliefs. And I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted in the Newcastle fans that have called for Steve Bruce to be sacked. If he deserved to be sacked, fair enough. But why couldn't, these owners, these new owners, they cannot go and just buy new players like that. They can't do it. They can't do it. They've got to do it over a period of time. So why couldn't the fans be a bit more tolerant, a bit more understanding, and a bit more respectful, and at least give him another 6 to 7 games under this new ownership to see if he could turn things around out of respect for the fact that he is one of their own. That's just my opinion, guys. I'm going to go to the comments now and see what you guys have got to say. But for me, I can't say it enough, guys. I'm absolutely disgusted because I do hold Newcastle fans in very high regard. And I'm stunned and disappointed that the fans have definitely contributed towards Steve Bruce getting sacked. And they've also contributed to the attitude of the Newcastle players on the pitch. You guys, like I say, probably have a different opinion, maybe have a different opinion, maybe agree with me. I'm not sure. I'm going to go to the comments now and see what you guys have got to say. But I'm just stunned, guys. I'm disappointed because I thought that club like Newcastle was a club that didn't treat people like Chelsea do. They don't, they're not a Chelsea. They don't disrespect and just sack managers left, right, and centre just because their face doesn't fit. This man loved Newcastle. This man, and anybody that argues any different is an absolute disgrace because his heart was in Newcastle. He left Sheffield to go to Newcastle, saying and claiming that it was the club that he loved. It was his dream job. Why has Newcastle fans not took that into account? Because in my opinion, they haven't. They've disrespected him from the day he walked in the club. But like I say, everybody's entitled to their opinion. As you guys know that know me, I do not follow the crowd. I'll voice my opinion. I'll say my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. I'm not asking you to agree with it. But I'm giving you the reasons why I think that this is an absolute disgrace. Yes, if he deserved the sack, no problem. No problem. But why couldn't they give him another 6 games? Why couldn't they do that? They cannot do any transfer business right now. So they could have given him a few more games to see if he could turn it around. But no, instead, the new owners have come in, they've buckled to the pressure of the fans, and they have got rid of him. And I think it's an absolute disgrace. But there you go, guys. I've calmed down now. I'll read what you guys have got to say. Please do consider hitting that like button and subscribe if you're new. But let's see what you guys have got to say. For me, like I say, I've said it quite quickly because it's been inside me for the last couple of weeks, wanting to obviously express my opinion with regards to the whole Steve Bruce situation. I'm just, like I say, how high I hold Newcastle fans in regard is why I'm so disappointed in this decision. So, guys, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. So we have Dylan, who's saying, definitely good news for Newcastle fans. However, the abuse sent to Steve is horrible and not needed. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Listen, like I say, I totally understand Newcastle fans want bigger and better things. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But this man is one of their own. He is a Geordie. He is from Newcastle. So why couldn't they give him 6 games to try and turn it around? Because they can't do nothing until January in the transfer window. So I'm stunned that the board and the new owners have come in and ruthlessly sacked this man, because I don't care. People could say, oh, he left by mutual consent. That's a load of rubbish. He never left by mutual consent. He was forced out of the job because his face didn't fit, because he's not fashionable. Let's have it right. But like I say, that's my opinion. You guys might think differently, and you're entitled to your opinion. I might not agree with you, but I will respect your opinion, even if it's not the same as mine. So thank you very much for that, Dylan. Appreciate your input, mate. Mackenzie Taylor, the board seem to expect that they are going to succeed with the team they have straight away. It doesn't work like that. Exactly, mate. Exactly. It's going to take a couple of years before they can truly alter that team to make it a team that can potentially challenge for European places and even potentially challenge for the Premier League. There's been a lot of discussion around this with pundits saying, obviously, that it's not going to be a 5-minute job. I've even heard on some TV media, even comparisons to who will win the Premier League first, like Newcastle or Arsenal, which is obviously just a bit of a clickbait, shall we say, on YouTube or whatever. I think it was ESPN that put that out, but yeah, that was an interesting one. But yeah, I do agree with that. Mackenzie Taylor, you well said, mate. The board seem to expect that they are going to succeed. Well, maybe they're a bit deluded if they think that that is the case. Yes, other managers will do better, but they need funds, which they didn't give Steve Bruce a chance to have. Exactly, mate. And that is another point that I've completely overlooked, that they didn't give him the funds. He has not been able to come in there and pick exactly. Newcastle fans know this, guys. They know that every manager that has come in that club have not been able to bring in the players that they wanted under Mike Ashley. They had to put up with what Mike Ashley wanted to invest in, what players he wanted to invest in. So, yeah, absolutely spot on, Mackenzie Taylor. Well said, mate. Like I say, the Newcastle fans have the right to want bigger and better things. I have no problem with that. But like Mackenzie Taylor just said, Steve Bruce got nothing. He got no money, no support, no understanding, and no respect. And now he gets canned because his face doesn't fit and he's not fashionable. It's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace as far as I'm concerned. It wouldn't have hurt to give him 6 games and see if he could turn things around. Aaron Hart, hi guys, how are you? How's it going, mate? Thanks for dropping in. Let me know your thoughts on this. Appreciate all you guys coming in. Like I say, apologies, it's a short notice stream, but I came in from work, I seen the news, and I just had to jump on it, guys, because like I say, I've been waiting for this for the last couple of weeks. I thought it might happen last week, and obviously I didn't want to come on until it actually happened, because obviously that's the best time to get views, is to actually react to these things when they actually happen. So thanks, Aaron. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Newcastle situation. Amish, how's it going, mate? Thanks for dropping in. Amish is saying, hi guys, what do you think about the Premier League allowing owners in their PIF, which is the investment fund of Saudi Arabia, who have a bad track record of human rights record, taking ownership of club? Well, obviously that's well said. Yeah, I understand what you're getting at, Amish. And you're right to point that out. That is definitely something to be debated. Obviously, I don't agree with anybody that's disrespecting human rights to be involved in something that basically they're using. It has become clearly obvious that they seem to be using Newcastle, or they plan to use Newcastle to improve their image. And that is, if that is the case, then it is questionable. But it's money talks, mate. It's money talks. It's an absolute disgrace, isn't it? Because it would, it wouldn't surprise me in 18 months' time or 2 years' time if it comes out that some sort of backhand has been given to the Premier League to let this happen. But obviously, that's just my presumptions. I'm not saying that is the case. That's just my presumption that might be what comes out in the future. So, yeah, absolutely. Well said, Amish. We should not be tolerating anybody coming into our football pyramid, our football clubs, with disregard for human rights records and civil liberties and stuff like that. So, yes, mate, I totally agree. But like I said, I think that's something we could go into in more conversation and more depth in the future. But thank you very much for that, Amish. Well said, mate. Aaron Hart. Yeah, guys, I agree. Newcastle fans has been horrible to Steve Bruce. I don't. He's not been great, but I know he's not been great. But there's no need to abuse him every week. I'm disgusted to Newcastle fans. They have forced Bruce out the club. Exactly, mate. Exactly. Like I say, I don't expect any of you guys to think it's right. I'm sure you guys totally understand that what's gone on with Newcastle. In the last, obviously, a few number of years has been obviously very disappointing for Newcastle fans. And I'm sure you guys totally agree with me that they do deserve bigger and better things. But they cannot do anything in the transfer window right now. And it isn't going to be like, wave a magic wand and suddenly they're winning the Premier League. It isn't going to work like that. So why couldn't they give him 6 more games? Why? Why couldn't they just give him a little bit more time to see if he turned things around? Instead, the new owners have come in. They've buckled to the pressure of the fans. They cannot. They could go out and get, Mourinho. They could go out and get Klopp or Pep Guardiola right now. And would they do much better with this team? I'm sorry, but I don't think they would. Because if Rafa Benitez couldn't get this team to climb up the league, then what manager can? Because I'm not being funny. Yes, Rafa Benitez might not be still in the same category as Pep and Pep and Klopp, but he is a Champions League manager. He's won the Champions League. He went into Chelsea with the hostility of the Chelsea fans, hated him from the second that he walked in the club. And what did he do? He went and won the Europa League for Chelsea. So, this is showing that, Benitez is a highly rated manager, and he couldn't get Newcastle to climb up the league. So why do Newcastle fans think that sacking Steve Bruce is suddenly going to turn things around? Because it isn't. It isn't. Until they have a few transfer windows and they bring in some better players, they are not going to work any miracles. But that's just my opinion. But thanks for that, Aaron. I only clicked it off, mate, because you guys couldn't see my face. When you write long messages, obviously you can't see my face. So thanks for that, Aaron. Well said, mate. PFC_DY4 is Dylan saying that's a good point, mate. Well, thanks, mate. Like I say, I'm doing the live today because I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you've got to say. Obviously, I've expressed my opinion. I'm very opinionated. I will always be honest and give my honest assessment. I will not be influenced by other people's thinking. I will think for myself, and I'm disgusted with this whole situation and the fact that Newcastle fans think it's perfectly okay to, and the shocking thing for me, guys, is he's a Geordie. That's the shocking thing for me, is this man is a Geordie. He said it when he took the job. He took the job because it was his dream job. How many other managers are going to say that about Newcastle under Mike Ashley? Seriously. I know they would say it now because there's a lot of money available in the next few transfer windows, but under Steve Bruce, what manager is going to say that the Newcastle job is their dream job when Mike Ashley was in charge? I would guess that 99% of managers would not be saying that. So that's, like I say, let me know, guys, your thoughts. No Castellon, I'm on here now, mate. Hi, Noel. I'm not sure I've seen you before, mate, but thanks for dropping in. Let me know your thoughts on the Newcastle situation and Steve Bruce's sacking. Appreciate you coming getting involved, mate. Really do. Always welcome new fans coming getting involved because, like I say, I am trying my hardest and working a lot of hours to try and build you guys a true fan channel that gives you guys the opportunity to have your say in the football world. So thanks for that, Noel. Appreciate you coming, getting involved, mate. Yeah, I agree. Well, like I say, mate, obviously I appreciate some of you guys might agree with me, but I also want to hear your opinions and how you're looking at it and what your thoughts are on the whole situation. I'm Exit Football. How's it going, mate? Long time no see. Bless up, working on a live, but just dropped by. Yeah, mate, I appreciate that. I've seen that you've been doing a lot of content. Obviously, I thought you was on a streamathon, to be honest. I'm not sure if you've seen my comment on your channel. If you did, you may have took it the wrong way. It wasn't meant the wrong way. It was just meant as a bit of joke. That's why I put laugh out loud at the end, because I noticed that during the international break, you were streaming almost every day, which respect to you, mate, for putting the effort in. But like I say, I hope you didn't misinterpret my words. It was only meant as a joke and a bit of a laugh to try and cheer you up, mate, because I see that sometimes that you don't always look happy on your stream. So obviously I was trying to get you to respond and take it as the joke that I was intending, mate. So great to see you though, mate. Mackenzie Taylor, I need to go, Gav, but the media have talked about all these big players and big aims, but what they forget is they need a manager who can get them to January with a chance to survive. Yeah, absolutely. But well, yeah, that's a good point. Absolutely good point, Mackenzie Taylor. Well said, mate. But I'll also say this. I'll add this to what you're saying there. I think that also if Newcastle was, let's say, Newcastle got relegated into the Championship, with the owners they've got, guys, now, let's be honest, they can go and drop into the Championship for one season, buy their best Championship players, maybe even a couple of Premier League players, because they know they're going to come straight back up. So they would start off in the Championship, win a trophy in the Championship, come back up, and then create some serious waves within the Premier League. So to me, all these fans worrying about dropping out the Premier League for a new club the size of Newcastle, if they could bounce straight back up out the Championship under Mike Ashley, imagine how quick they could bounce back up under the present ownership that they've got with the funds available. So to me, if fans are panicking about potentially dropping into the Championship, I think it's a bit unfair because, like I say, a club the size of Newcastle have already shown that in the Championship, they are miles ahead of every other club in the Championship. They've shown that on the couple of occasions where they have dropped into the Championship, where in my time of watching football, and they've managed to literally go down and come straight back up. And that is because, I don't mean any disrespect to any other Championship clubs, but let's be honest, guys, the club the size of Newcastle are just too big and too good to be in the lower leagues of football, Championship, League One, anything like that. The fan base, the fans show passion. And that is one of the things why I respect Newcastle so much, guys, because they dropped into the Championship not so long ago and the time before that, and they were still getting 52,000 fans in the ground, guys. That is loyalty. That is passion. That is getting behind your club. I massively respect that and all for that. And that is why I keep saying I hold Newcastle in high regard, their fans, their support and their love for their club. But I'm sorry, I've got to speak up about this Steve Bruce thing. And I think it's an absolute disgrace that they have hounded him out of the club. And if it was just any old manager, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't make so much of a big deal about it. But the fact that he is a Geordie, and the fact that he said that it was his dream job, you know, he's shown massive respect to Newcastle and he's had none of it coming back. And like you guys say, the hate that has been going towards him from some of the fans has been absolutely disgraceful, absolutely shocking. Like I say, guys, Fanden is about fans, and you guys that have got to know me know how passionate I am. That is why the channel is called Football Fanden UK, because I care about how fans are treated in the football world. But occasionally we have to criticise the fact, if we're going to criticise the EFL and we're going to criticise the SPFL and we're going to criticise UEFA and FIFA, occasionally we have to hold our hands up and say that us as fans also occasionally need a bit of criticism. So, I'm just honest like that, guys. I don't mean no offence. I just believe in being straight and honest and saying what I see. And equally, like I say, if criticism is deserved to FIFA, to UEFA, to the Premier League, to the EFL, SPFL, any of them, then they're going to get it on this channel. We're going to criticise them with respect. We're going to say what needs to be said. But occasionally, like I say, us as fans also have to be honest and mature enough and grown up enough to accept that us as fans occasionally also will need criticism, because sometimes we've got our club glasses on and we're not seeing the bigger picture, because all we wanting to see is what we want the best for our club. And like I say, maybe it's because I'm older, guys. I don't know, but I think when I was younger, maybe I had the club glasses on. But as I've got older and I've seen how hypocritical some things can be in football, particularly pundits and TV companies and stuff like that, as I've got older, I've kind of got a little bit more frustrated with it, and obviously it's become to the point where it's like, is it damaging football? Is it damaging the future of football? Premier League fans would say no, but I'm sure that what League One, League Two and non-league fans would have a different opinion. Mackenzie Taylor is also saying Steve Bruce helped them survive last year. They have had a slow start this year, but it will get better. They've played some nice football at times. Money has got to the fans' heads. Exactly, mate. Well said. And let's be honest, like Mackenzie just said, they have had a slow and a poor start to the season. But the same thing happened under Benitez. He had a season that I remember where he had a slow start and he didn't get results. But I didn't see the Newcastle fans calling for him to be sacked then. I didn't see that. So it's kind of like I've just pointed out on the thing on the thumbnail. It appears to me that he's been forced out simply because he's not fashionable, and that is not right. Because what is best for the club? To have a manager that cares and wants the best for the club, or to have a fashionable manager? Seriously, guys, I'd love to know your opinion on that. What is more important, having a manager that cares, that wants the best for the club, or having a manager that is just coming for a big payday and because he's fashionable? Seriously, I'd love to know your thoughts on that, guys. But thank you very much for that, Mackenzie Taylor. Appreciated, mate. Well said. And Steve Bruce had no chance. Exactly, like I said before, mate. Since the day he walked in the club, the fans didn't get behind him. They didn't want him. They disrespected him. And like I said, I've got to stress this, guys. I know it's not all Newcastle fans. When I'm saying fans, I know it's not all Newcastle fans. But let's be honest, there is a lot of Newcastle fans that didn't want him. And they disrespected him from the day he walked in the door. And that has to be said. It has to be said. So thanks for that, Mackenzie Taylor. Some great input in the conversation, mate. Thank you very much. No Castler. Yep, that's right. Well, I'm not sure exactly what you're agreeing with, mate, but I'm presuming maybe you are agreeing with Mackenzie Taylor. But thank you very much for that, mate. I'd love to have a little bit of your thoughts, also what you think of the situation. Amish is saying Steve Bruce should have been allowed at least one transfer window to bring in players and turn things around. Well, yeah, mate, that's an excellent point. Obviously, I didn't go as far as saying he needed a transfer window, but I do agree. It would have been nice to see him at least get till January to see if he could make some impact on the team, bring in some players of his own, because let's be honest, guys, under Ashley, he didn't get allowed to bring in the players he wanted. He was given players. He was told what players he had. Newcastle fans know this. They know that under Mike Ashley, no manager got to pick their own players. And probably the only manager that did come close was Rafa Benitez. And we all know why he left. For that reason, because he felt frustrated by not being allowed to bring in the players that he wanted. That was part of the reason he left. So, this is the things, this is the bigger picture. And this is why I'm saying that I think that Newcastle fans are not, basically they just want what's fashionable. And like Mackenzie Taylor said they've got all this money now, and suddenly it's gone to their head, and they haven't even spent any of it yet. But suddenly they think that they're better than everybody else in respect of they've got to have the best and top manager straight away. Well, I'm sorry, but you are not going to attract the best and top manager right now unless you pay them stupid amounts of money. And if you pay them stupid amounts of money right now, then that is going to have an impact on the transfer budget. And why? Because of financial fair play. Financial fair play will stop Newcastle just going out and splashing the cash the way they want to. We've already seen that. Look at how Manchester City have been investigated, and now they're tiptoeing in the transfer market because they're obviously bothered about UEFA coming after them. They got away with it the last time. The next time they get the collar felt by UEFA, they might not get away with it. So Newcastle fans need to learn these things. They need to recognise that you cannot just go out and spend what money you want just because you've got it. You know, it has to be done in stepping stones. And like I say, I personally, I'm just disgusted that he's gone because he's not fashionable. And like I said, for me, he's a Geordie. He said it. He's from Newcastle and he loved the club. It was his dream job. So I'm just disgusted. I'm shocked that fans think that it's perfectly okay. And yeah, I know that Newcastle fans are going to come on and go, oh, well, he's lost this amount of games, that and that. But let's be honest, guys. The previous managers have all had a bad run. Even Rafa Benitez, who is classed as one of the best managers up there in the Champions League, one of the top talents to get clubs into Champions League knockout stages. He is seen as one of them managers that can do that. And even he got defeats. Even he struggled to get Newcastle players playing for the shirt week in, week out. So, like I say, Newcastle fans need to look at a bigger picture, in my opinion. Amish is saying Steve Bruce should have been allowed at least. Yeah, sorry, I just read that. My apologies. But thanks for that, Amish. Obviously, I'm ranting, guys, so I'm losing track of where I was up to. But yeah, well said, Amish. Thank you very much for that, mate. Appreciate your thoughts. Aaron Hart is saying, I think these owners have come in and thought they can do whatever they want, like sack Bruce. I think he would have kept them up. Now Newcastle could be in trouble. It's hard to get a new manager. Exactly, mate. Like I've just said, I think to replace Steve Bruce with the kind of manager that they are wanting, they're going to have to chuck a lot of money at it. And let's be honest, that whatever money they chuck at a manager, a top manager, that's going to impact their transfer budget. And also, guys, what manager are they going to go out and get that is not employed right now? Because all the best managers that we class as the top shelf managers are all in a job. I can't think of a manager right now that is classed as a top shelf manager that is not in a job. Can you guys? I mean, you know, I'm not saying Ronald Koeman's a top manager, but look at the pressure he's under at Barcelona right now. And it's the same scenario where he's not being given money. He's not being allowed to bring in their own players. And yet you've got Barcelona fans calling for him to be sacked. It's the same principle. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, well said, Aaron. I totally agree with that, mate, because like I say, I don't see any top managers available right now. And let's be honest, Newcastle could have all the money in the world, but are they really going to be able to go and bully Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool to get their managers? I don't see it. I don't see Liverpool saying, yeah, you can take Klopp, give us this amount of money, or going to Man City and saying, yeah, you can have Pep Guardiola, give us this amount of money. It's not going to happen because these clubs are big clubs with their own ambitions, and they're certainly not going to want to make it easier for Newcastle to catch them up in the league and catch them up and make it more competitive. They're going to make sure they make it difficult for Newcastle to attract their best players and attract their potentially their manager. So, you know, this is the reality of it. But I don't think Newcastle fans, or at least a percentage of Newcastle fans, are looking at them facts. But thank you very much for that, Aaron. Well said, mate. Some great input coming from you guys. Keep it coming because, like I say, I've done the live stream so you guys can have your opinions heard on the whole Newcastle situation. Obviously, like Amish said, there's the human rights issue to discuss also. But obviously, at this moment in time, that I think that is probably best maybe to do on another stream, because that is a lot more in depth, and I would like to, obviously I know about the human rights things, but I've not looked into it in detail, so I would like to get a bit more information and facts on that before I have an opinion on it, because I'm very honest, guys. I want to have opinions on things, but I like to know the facts before I start having an opinion. There's nothing more annoying, you guys must know it, there's nothing more annoying than when pundits and TV companies are having an opinion on our club or our team or our players, and they haven't got all the facts. So for me, I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but I try to always make sure I've got as much information and facts available to me, and that I've absorbed as much information as possible to have, an honest and respectful opinion on it. Noel Castle. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, mate, so my apologies if I'm not. Noel Castellon is saying, I don't think Newcastle will win a cup right away. I give them 5 years for them to win the Premier League, maybe be in Europa League. Well, yeah, that's a good observation, mate. They might get enough quality in the next 2 or 3 years to maybe win the League Cup, something like that, or maybe have a good run in the Europa League or something like that. But like you say, I don't see that Newcastle fans in the next 2 to 3 years are suddenly going to be charging up the league and challenging for a Champions League. It's going to take. I've heard some pundits saying they think that it could take longer than 10 years for Newcastle to win the Premier League. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to win it anytime soon? Do you think it's going to be a long process? Like I say. I know I've definitely watched some mainstream media, and quite a few pundits I have heard saying that it could take either up to 10 years or over 10 years for Newcastle to potentially win one of the major trophies. But like I say, let me know, guys. Obviously, Noel is saying 5 years, so that's a good shout. But I think for the top trophies like the Premier League and Champions League, I think it's going to be a bit longer than that, because let's look at Man City, for instance. They are still, they've had their new owners for quite, I think they've been there now for about 10 years or something like that, and they've still not won the Champions League. Yeah, they've won the Premier League, but they haven't won the Champions League. So that shows how difficult it is to win the Champions League. The fact that they've got some of the best players in the world, a top team. We've all seen how they play. They play some beautiful football, but they still haven't been able to win the Premier League. The Champions League. Yeah, they have won the Premier League, just not the Champions League. So thanks for that, Noel. That's a great insight into your thoughts, mate, and thank you very much for that. Mackenzie Taylor. Okay, guys, I really need to go. Enjoy the stream. Mate, thank you very much for dropping in. Appreciate it. Like I say, I just jumped on this because I came home from work and saw the news and I wanted to react to it. But thank you, mate. I really appreciate you coming, sharing your opinion and your thoughts on it. And don't let me hold you up, mate. If you've got studies or training to get to, you crack on and get to that. But really do appreciate you dropping in, mate. Thank you very much. And hopefully you enjoy the rest of your evening, mate. I'm presuming you have to football training or something like that. So if you are, mate, obviously best wishes, and hope you have a good night playing if that is the case. PFC_DY4 Dylan is saying, I think it will take Newcastle at least 2 years to make any progress. Maybe by 2024 they will start challenging at the start. Yeah, mate. Like I say, that's a good shout. That's what. So that'll be like 3 years. 3 years, yeah, maybe. But I can't. Like I say, I don't think that Newcastle will be challenging for the Premier League or the Champions League anytime soon. It's going to take them about 5 years, I think, to even get anywhere near that. Because first of all, they got to rebuild their team. And not only have they got to rebuild their team, guys, they got to get rid of the old players as well, who were all under contract. But like I say, maybe they'll be ruthless like Manchester City and let them players go on peanuts. But I think that will be a bit harder for Newcastle to let the players go that they've got on low money, because that will affect their transfer budget. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because when Man City was taken over, I don't think financial fair play was having as much of an impact on clubs spending money as we see it doing today. But like I say, let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think the same? I definitely think that Man City when their new owners came in. I think the financial fair play was just being introduced or around that time. Man City kind of got a little bit of a break with that because it wasn't enforced like to the way we're seeing it enforced now. Back when Man City was first taken over with their new owners, and it certainly wasn't around when Chelsea was bought out by Abramovich. Like I say, it's partly because of them clubs getting their rich owners why we've got financial fair play, because they think that they can come in, these owners, buy these big clubs and just spend money like it's toilet paper, and it's not. And we've already seen, guys, in the lockdown, you can sell out of toilet paper. But thanks for that, Dylan. That's a good point, mate. Like I said, I can see Newcastle winning a League Cup maybe in the next 3 years, something like that. Maybe even possibly the Europa League or something. But I cannot see them challenging for the top Champions League and Premier League titles anytime soon. I think it's going to take them at least 5 to 6 years just to build up to get in a position to be able to compete for them trophies. Because let's be honest, guys, look at how many top clubs are up there competing for them. Do you know what I mean? Especially the Champions League. There's so many big clubs competing for that trophy that Newcastle, like I said, Man City still haven't won it. So if Newcastle fans think that they're going to go and march on, and just because they've got big pockets now of money, pockets full of money, that they're just going to march and win things, easy. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's a work in progress. But like I say, that's just my opinion. Aaron Hart is saying, yeah, I think Newcastle are thinking this owner will just spend 500 million and they will win the league. It's not that simple. The owners need to be careful and do it in baby steps. Exactly, mate. I couldn't have said it any better. Because, like I say, it's not that they couldn't spend that money. It's that the financial fair play regulations will force them to take baby steps, exactly as Aaron is saying. This is what I mean. You guys all know this stuff. So how is it that we are hearing so many Newcastle fans thinking that they're just going to march on and suddenly start winning trophies in no time? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And they think that, I'm sure that Newcastle fans are partying like crazy tonight, thinking it's great. We got rid of Steve Bruce. Now it's time to march on. No, because what top manager are they going to go out and get? Who is going to come into Newcastle right now? All the top managers are taken. They're all managing clubs. So there's no way that Newcastle can just go out and spend stupid amounts of money to buy their way up the league straight away. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a process. It's going to take some time, and they're going to have to learn the hard way if they're going to live in dreamland and think that they can just march up the league just because they've got pockets full of money. We all know, this is what I love about you guys. You all know this. You have absorbed what has gone on with Chelsea, what has gone on with Man City, what has gone on with PSG. And you guys are all aware that now, because of financial fair play, it has changed the playing field, and it has had an impact on how our clubs can spend money. And another point, guys, that I forgot to mention is, let's be honest, the new TV deal kicked in a couple of years ago, didn't it? So even clubs like Burnley and Norwich and, Sheffield, or any other, obviously Sheffield not in the Premier League this year, are they? I'm forgetting that. But you get what I mean. Burnley, Norwich, clubs like this all got plenty of money because they're in the Premier League. Because of that big TV deal, they have got plenty of money. And financial fair play means that they can compete because the financial fair play means that the big clubs with the big amounts of money cannot just go out and spend crazy money. They've got to do it baby steps, exactly as Aaron is saying. And that is in some ways it's good because it evens up the playing field, meaning that Burnley potentially, obviously they probably wouldn't do it, but Burnley, because of the big TV deal, because of the money they're getting from the TV deal, means that Burnley could potentially compete with some of the big clubs for one particular player if they really wanted him. Do you get what I mean? I'm not saying they could go out and buy the amount of players that Manchester City have bought, or that Liverpool have bought, or that Chelsea have bought. But let's just say, if Burnley were determined that they wanted one specific top player to make the difference in their team, let's say a playmaker, yeah, and then they built the rest of the team around that one playmaker with, say, good but average Premier League players, you know, they could do that. They could do that financially because they're getting the money from the big TV deals. So it's not impossible. So, like I say, you guys seem to be very aware of the bigger picture, and I'm just stunned that Newcastle fans, like I say, for me, the way that they have disrespected Steve Bruce and the way they think that they can suddenly just, you know, go and buy the league or buy this or buy that just because they've got pocketfuls of money. It's not going to happen. And Aaron has just said exactly the right thing. It's going to take baby steps before they can achieve any kind of success and reach the heights in football that they are dreaming and hoping to achieve. So thank you very much for that, Aaron. Well said, mate. Will Bertham, hi, mate. How's it going? Appreciate you dropping in, mate. I'm obviously getting close to the end of the stream now. Apologies. It was a short notice stream. I came in from work, as I've said earlier, and I seen the news about Steve Bruce, and I had to react to it because, as I said earlier in the show, I am disgusted. Fans, obviously, the news is being put out there. It's saying that he's left by mutual consent, but let's be honest, he hasn't left by mutual consent. Because you guys know, if you're knowledgeable about football, I'm sure you remember when he got the job, he said he took the job because he's a Geordie and because it's his dream job. How many other managers would have said that about Newcastle under Mike Ashley? So, you know, it's just, and I'm just disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted because Newcastle fans will point out and go, oh, well, look at the run of results. But they have been hounding Steve Bruce out since day one. And you're not telling me that that hasn't had a psychological impact on all the Newcastle players. The fact that they know the fans don't want this manager. They know that. They're well aware of it. They're seeing it on social media. So they start to absorb that. And that starts to affect their performances. Maybe not intentionally, but it is having a mental impact on them. And it starts to affect how they approach their training, how they approach playing the games, how they listen to the manager. And I can say that with sincerity, guys, because go and look on social media. Go and look how what the players' reaction is to Steve Bruce. There is Newcastle players coming out and saying really good things about Steve Bruce, and that tells you that he cared about the club. That tells you that he did have the respect of the players, but the fans didn't respect him, and that has rubbed off on the players, and it has rubbed off on the owners that have come in, and they get rid of him. And they're saying it's mutual consent. I'm not having it as mutual consent. I'm having it. He's been sacked. He's been forced out the club. He's probably given into mutual consent to not cause a stir because he's that kind of manager. He's a nice guy. I'm not saying he's the best manager. I would never say that because we all know he's not the best manager. But he is a nice guy. His heart's in the right place. He tries to treat people how he wants to be treated himself. And that is why I'm disgusted, guys. I am. But let's see what Will is saying. Will Burford, mate, just got back from cricket training and currently watching West Brom. All right, what's the score, mate? Let me know. I'd love to know the score. I didn't realise West Brom was playing tonight. But I have paused the game, so don't tell me the score. I didn't, mate. I don't even know the score, mate. So if you know the score, let me know what the score is up to now. Love to hear from you, mate. Always interested to know about any football that I'm not aware of. Like I say, when I'm working, it's hard to keep up with absolutely every game that is going on. But yeah, let me know, Will, if you what the score is up to this point where you are watching. Will Bradford saying, I think Steve Bruce should have been sacked even if the takeover wasn't a thing. 3 points from 24 points is relegation form. Yes, it is relegation form, but he kept them up last season, mate. And let's have it right. Under Rafa Benitez, they started seasons badly, mate. They started seasons badly under Rafa Benitez. If the manager is not getting the money from the owner to spend on players that he wants, if the manager is being forced to have players that the owner wants and not the players he wants, if the manager has got the fans turning on him from the day he walks in the club, all these things play a factor. all these things. So I respect exactly what Will is saying. 3 points from 24 is relegation form. But I think there was a similar stat like that. Maybe not exactly the same stat, but there was a similar stat during Benitez's charge. And while he was in charge, and I didn't see Newcastle Court fans calling for him to be sacked. So, it's kind of like, for me, guys, it's simple. He's been sacked because he's not fashionable. I take on board what Will's saying. It's an excellent point, and he's right to say it. But in the reality of the situation, I'm saying, why couldn't he have been given another 6 games or even till January to see if he could turn things around, if he was allowed to bring in some of his own players? Because, come on, guys, we all know it. Mike Ashley did not allow Steve Bruce to bring in the players he wanted. Mike Ashley chose the players that was brought in, and everybody knows that. That's why the Newcastle fans wanted Mike Ashley gone, because he didn't do what was best for the club. He did what was best for his own pocket. But that's an excellent point, Will. You're right to say it. But like I say, I respect your opinion, mate. Totally respect it. But sorry, I disagree to a certain extent, because I think that from the day that Steve Bruce walked in the club, he had his hands tied behind his back, mate. He really did. And, what you're saying is relegation form. But when players see that a manager is hated by the fans, that is going to have an impact on their psychology, on when they play in training, when they play on the pitch. It has an effect. And if you don't think that, if you don't recognise that, then I'm sorry. But, I don't understand why you wouldn't respect that, or understand that club fans, a lot of fans turning on a manager will have a psychological impact on the players. But that's an excellent point, Will. I'm not disagreeing with you. You're right. It is relegation form. I just think the way that Steve Bruce was treated from the day he walked in with the club, and the fact that he is a Geordie, and the fact that he said he cared about the club, that it was his dream job, all these things make me think that he's been forced out of the club just because he's not fashionable, and he's had his hands tied behind his back, and he's still trying to get results. He's still trying to get a tune out of the players. Come on, we've got to take these facts into consideration. If you're going to criticise him for the points tally, then you have to look at why the points tally is so bad. But that's just my opinion. And Will Bertham, well said, mate, because I'm not arguing with your point. I'm just expressing a different point, mate. So hopefully you can at least understand where I'm coming from with that. Aaron Hart, yes, will be a good point. I just don't agree with the abuse, as Bruce always wanted to manage Newcastle, but the fans have forced Geordie and abused him since he joined. It's not fair on Bruce. Exactly, mate. Well said, Aaron. Well said, mate. I couldn't have said it any better, because, like I say, he has been forced out, and he's, like I say, how, even you, me, doesn't matter. If we managed our own club, the club that we love, that we hold passionately in our hearts, if we managed our own club, we would want that to do everything to make our club win. But if the fans don't think you're good enough and they turn on you from the second you're given the job, what chance have you got? It doesn't matter how much you say, I love this club, I want to achieve success at this club. If the fans don't support your beliefs and your management or you as a person, then you've got no chance. You have got absolutely no chance. But yes, well said, Aaron. I couldn't have said it better myself, mate. I totally agree with that. And I've said it a few times tonight, guys. I have no problem with Newcastle fans wanting bigger and better things. I totally respect that. They are a club and a fan base that deserve bigger and better things after the number of years of dodging relegation, having an owner that doesn't care, that's only interested in the money. And we can say that because I'm sure Aaron will agree with me as well, because he's seen it as a Scottish fan. He's seen what Mike Ashley did to Rangers. Do you know what I mean? All Scottish fans have seen what Mike Ashley did to Rangers, and look at where Rangers ended up because of Mike Ashley. Do you know what I mean? So how can we not take these things into account? How can we not consider all the facts before we actually, cast Steve Bruce aside and say he's rubbish, he doesn't deserve the job? We can't. We've got to look at all the facts, guys. You have. And like I say, that's just me. But like I say, let me know your thoughts, guys. But thank you very much for that, Aaron. I do agree, mate. Will Bertham, It's a very similar situation to Sam Allardyce at West Brom last season. I see Newcastle fans' frustration, but I also get your point. Right, fair enough, mate. Yeah, well, like I said, I pointed out about the Big Sam thing, not in comparison with West Brom. I pointed out the Big Sam thing in comparison to Newcastle when he went to Newcastle, because when he went to Newcastle, Big Sam was quite high profile at that point. He'd done amazing. He'd had amazing success with Michael Bolton. He'd done really good things. Newcastle come along, steal my best manager, my club's best manager. They steal my club's best captain. They stole Kevin Nolan. But did I hate Newcastle for it? No, I didn't hate Newcastle for it. I was disappointed. I was angry, and I was frustrated. But I totally understood why Newcastle. Well, I understood why the manager went. He wanted to try and achieve more. I understand why Kevin Nolan went, because he wanted to achieve more. But I didn't respect the way the Newcastle fans treated Big Sam straight away. You know, because at that time, Big Sam, Sam Allardyce was achieving good things at Bolton. So it wasn't like he was a rubbish manager. It wasn't like he'd been classed as a relegation manager back then, because he hadn't. Because yes, he kept Bolton up, but he'd also got Bolton into Europe twice on a limited budget. He got Bolton into Europe twice. So, you know, when he went up to Newcastle and the Newcastle fans turned on him straight away, it was just because he's not fashionable. Let's be honest, guys. That is why they turned on him so quickly when he went to Newcastle, because he's not fashionable. But like I say, that's just my opinion. I don't expect you to agree. All I ask is that you at least take it on board. I'm not saying I'm always going to agree with you guys and what you say, but I will always respect your opinion, even if I don't agree with it. Because that's what football's about, guys. It's about opinions. Will Bertham is saying, if Newcastle sign that Italian manager who has never managed in the Prem before, it's a ridiculous decision. He will not be able to keep up an average Newcastle side in his first season in the Premier League. Right, mate. Well, thanks for that. I didn't realise that Newcastle actually, obviously I've seen a lot of rumours, but I didn't realise that Newcastle were actually focused on a particular Italian manager. Which Italian manager are you referring to, Will? Let me know if you can, mate. But yeah, I didn't realise that Newcastle was specifically aiming for a specific manager. Obviously, a lot of managers been linked with them, but like I said earlier, guys, the top managers are all taken. And I'm not being funny, but like I said earlier in the stream, there's no way that Liverpool or Man City are going to come along and say, yeah, Newcastle, yeah, just give us, £100 million and you can take Klopp or you can take Guardiola. And they're not going to make it easy for Newcastle to catch them up and build a team that can compete with them. They're going to make it difficult. They're going to make it hard. So if Newcastle come in for their players or Newcastle come in for their manager, they're going to make it hard for them to get their manager and their better players. They're not going to make it easy for Newcastle to try and steal their best players to compete at the top of the league. But yes, excellent point, Will. I don't know which manager you're referring to, but if you're referring to a manager, another point that I would add to what Will is saying, if they're bringing a manager that doesn't speak good English, how is a manager that doesn't speak good English going to get an underachieving team to perform? And obviously, it's only a hypothetical point of view, but I'm just chucking it out there, guys. How Newcastle, a manager that doesn't know the Premier League, as Will said, and also that might not speak good English, how are they going to get a good tune out of the players at Newcastle when more experienced managers in the Premier League, like Rafa Benitez, struggled to get them to play? He only just about did enough to keep them up. And obviously, Steve Bruce has done the same thing in his time whilst being at Newcastle. Obviously, we can't count this season because it's not finished. But while he's been there, he's done enough to keep them up. And what more could you ask while he had the owner as Mike Ashley? So there you go, guys. But thank you very much for that, Will. I wasn't aware of that, so appreciate that, mate. Will Bertham also saying, yes, Aaron, I hate the abuse to Bruce, mate. It's quite frankly disgusting. Well said, mate. You guys are spot on. I love the respect you guys are showing Obviously, none of us are saying that Steve Bruce is the best manager, a great manager. None of us are saying that. But I love the fact that you guys are all condemning the hate that has gone towards Steve Bruce, because let's be honest, guys, it's a game. There is no need for this excessive abuse just because fans don't want him to be the manager of the club. The right to have the opinion, I've got no problem with that. If fans don't want him, even though I don't agree with why they don't want him, doesn't mean they're not entitled to their opinion. I respect that they have their opinion. But when it's getting to the point where it's hateful abuse, it goes too far. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's football. It's a game. We're all passionate. We all love it. But when we get these fans that just abuse and hate and just go excessively, it's an absolute disgrace. Aaron Hart is saying, yeah, I 100% agree with everything you have said. Mike Ashley shouldn't own a club ever again. He ruined Rangers and has ruined Newcastle for years. Exactly, mate. Yeah, exactly. Well, let's hope that, if now he's got out of the Premier League and now he's got out of, obviously, well, I know he's actually, I can't say he's out of Rangers still, because I'm aware that he still has some ownership in the club shop at Rangers, which is an absolute disgrace. But yeah, let's hope that he's a marked man now. Let's hope that that Mike Ashley is a marked man with the SPFL and with the EPL and the EFL. Let's hope that these football organisations do never allow Mike Ashley to own another football club, because we've all seen that he's not in it for football reasons. He's in it for the money. And I'm not saying he's the worst owner, because there's been a lot worse owners out there, guys, than Mike Ashley. We've got to respect that at least he kept Rangers stable. But when we look at what Mike Ashley did to Rangers, he didn't leave them stable. He left them in an absolute crisis, and the club almost completely disappeared because of what he did. So, I totally agree, mate. Let's hope that the football authorities have the brain power, the intelligence, and the respect for fans that they do never allow him to own another football club again. So thanks for that, Aaron. Much appreciated. Will Cahill, Steve Bruce sacked. I think you mean he's sacked. Yes, mate. I have said that he's sacked because obviously the mainstream media are saying that he's left by mutual consent. But let's be honest, mate. A manager that comes to the club saying that he takes the job because it's his dream job. He's a Geordie. Why would he leave? He's been forced out, mate. So that is why I put he's sacked, because as far as I'm concerned, he has been sacked. He might have agreed to not make waves. He might have agreed to say, okay, you want me out, I'll go quietly. But I'm not having it that he just accepted he wanted to leave. That man wanted that job. He wanted the job. He cared about Newcastle. He took the job. When he took it, he said, this is my dream job. What other manager would say this is my dream job under the ownership of Mike Ashley? Apart from maybe a lower league manager that was managing in League Two or non-league or something like that, maybe. But no, I'm sorry, but I don't agree that any other top manager that's a Premier League manager would have said that the Newcastle job is a dream job. So yeah, there you go, mate. Hope that makes things a little bit clearer for you with regards to that. Will Kale is saying, I am a Rangers fan. He didn't get a chance to ruin us. His shares are a tiny percentage. Yes, mate. Well, I appreciate you coming on and letting me know your thoughts and what you know, because obviously I would not disrespect what you're saying. You're a Rangers fan, so you know a lot better than I do. But he has still got shares in respect of the club shop. I think, so I understand. You might know better than me, but so I understand. Mike Ashley still owns the club shop, and he's still profiting from Rangers fans, and that is an absolute disgrace, because this man did not do good things for your club, mate. So why should he still be allowed to profit from Rangers fans? He's profiting by shirt sales, by merchandise, and he's made sure that he's left Rangers and kept himself with a little piece of the pie, shall we say, so that he can still profit from Rangers, which is an absolute disgrace. And it's an absolute disgrace that the SPFL are allowing him to do that. But like I say, mate, let me know. You're a Rangers fan, so you know obviously a lot more about Rangers than I do. What I'm saying is obviously the bits and bobs that I've learned, and obviously speaking to other Rangers fans, telling me what they've said with regards to Mike Ashley. What are you talking about? We went into administration long before he bought shares. Well, like I've just said, mate, you're a Rangers fan, so you would know better than me. I am talking about the fact that he went into Rangers without the best of intentions and that he didn't do the best thing. I'm going off what your fan base are telling me. So if I'm getting it wrong, mate, it's because I'm getting it wrong from Rangers fans. Don't come back on here and give me an attitude saying, what am I talking about? I am a fan channel that tries to speak up on behalf of fans. If you don't like what I've saying, no problem. Don't have to agree with me, but don't come on saying, what am I talking about? Disrespecting me, because I will just, I will just block you, mate. It's not a problem. I am a respectable guy and I try to take your viewpoints on board with respect. So please be considerate enough to give the same respect. I've just told you, you're a Rangers fan, so you know better than I do. What I'm giving you and what I'm saying here is the bits and bobs that I have took of Rangers fans, of what I've learnt about the club. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. At least I'm honest enough to tell you that I don't know any better than Rangers fans and that you know better than me. I don't appreciate that, mate. I don't appreciate that one bit. Yeah, it says stacked in the title. Okay, so I made a slight error, mate. That was because I came in from work. I apologise. I came in from work. I rushed to get on the stream because I wanted to react to it. I wanted to give fans the chance to have their say. So if I've worded it wrong, it was because I was rushing to get on the channel. So my apologies, mate. It wasn't done intentionally. But like I said, when you spend all day like I do, working full time, and then you come home and you jump straight onto YouTube and social media stuff. Occasionally, I do make the odd spelling mistake because of the spell check thing on obviously on phones and on my iPads and what have you that I use. So my apologies, mate. I can only say that. Aaron Hart, William, who was the owner that got you into the administration and forced Rangers into going to League Two? William Cale, it was Craig White, Aaron. Oh yeah, I remember. So you guys obviously are having a discussion amongst yourself. No, the agreement with Sports Direct ended last year. That's why the Hummel deal was finished early. Well, like I say, mate, I don't mean you no disrespect. I respect what you're saying. I've just chucked it out there and said to you that you Rangers fans will know a lot better than me. So if I've got my facts wrong, I apologise. But I was under the impression from Rangers fans that Mike Ashley came to your club, disrespected your club, and didn't leave it in a good state of affairs when he left the club. So I'm only getting that off Rangers fans. I don't follow Rangers like a Rangers fan would. I try to give respect to Rangers fans. I try to obviously give some coverage to Rangers when I can on the channel. But I would never, ever claim to know more than you guys that support your own club. I've always been honest. And the day I started the channel, I've always been honest with that. So, like I say, I am respectful of the fact that you, as a Rangers fan, mate, will know a lot more. But I was under the impression, and if I've got it wrong, I apologise. But if I was genuinely under the impression from speaking to Rangers fans that all seem to speak very badly about Mike Ashley, or a lot of the Rangers fans I've spoke to seem to speak very badly about Mike Ashley, with regards to the fact that he came to your club, didn't have the best of intentions, and basically looked to basically profit from Rangers, and obviously didn't leave the club in the best of states from what I've gathered. But if I've got that wrong, mate, I do apologise, like I just said. Anyway, guys, I'm obviously going to call it right because I want to have some food and stuff like that. I'm come literally straight in from work and jumped on this. Obviously, as you can see, I've made a spelling mistake as pointed out by William. So my apologies for that. And obviously, you guys appreciate you coming, getting involved in the stream at such short notice. I'll read out William's final comment and then I'm going to call it a day. I didn't disrespect the club and the fan base, but he really didn't have much power at Rangers. He owned around 4% of shares, mate. Right, well, all right, fair enough, mate. I will try and look into it when I get time. But like I say, all I know is speaking to Rangers fans, there seems to be a lot of hatred and animosity towards Mike Ashley. And like I say, I was under the impression from Rangers fans that when he came to Rangers and got involved in Rangers, he didn't have good intentions for the club. He didn't treat the club with respect. And he was looking to simply just profit from the club. So if I've got the facts wrong, you've just heard me, mate. I've just apologised. I can only say that. I am an honest guy, and I will always try to be respectful that you guys know more about your club than I do. I would never disrespect you like that. But I can obviously, I'm a YouTuber, and I sit here and I talk on my own a lot of the time. Fans are welcome to come on and have their say. I'm always saying that fans are welcome on the channel. But when I'm sitting here on my own, I can only talk about bits of information that I learned for myself from research and what I learned from fans. That's all I can do, mate. I can only do the best. I'm not claiming to be the best football knowledge person in the world. I know we've all got football knowledge, and sometimes we've got that much football knowledge that it gets a bit jumbled up in the head, doesn't it? So my apologies, mate. I meant you no disrespect. Like I say, I was just expressing my opinion that from what I've gathered of Rangers fans, they do not think well of Mike Ashley. And obviously, if you look on social media with reference to some of the Rangers fans showing sympathy towards Newcastle fans having Mike Ashley as the owner, it would indicate that he did not treat Rangers with respect while he was there. But like I say, maybe I presumed a bit from my discussions with Rangers fans. So if I have, my apologies for that, mate. I mean no offence. PFC_DY4, thanks for a good stream, mate. Like I say, mate, thanks for dropping in. My apologies to you guys that it was short notice. Like I say, I came on from work, saw the news, and I wanted to react to it. And I also wanted to give you guys the chance to also have your say. But there you go. So, guys, I'm going to end it there. I'm going to go and get some food and a drink because, like I say, I've literally came in from work, and I think within 15-20 minutes of being in from work, I am sat in front of the camera. So there you go, guys. Shows you I am committed to keep trying to obviously give you chance and me chance and all the football community the chance to come and use the channel to have your opinions heard. Even if you don't like being on camera, you can do it through the live streams. Thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate all your positive comments. Obviously, I apologise if I am a bit high rate tonight because obviously, like I say, I came in, seen it, wanted to react to it, and it's been a long day. So I do apologise if I am a bit high rate tonight, guys. But some of you guys that know, you must understand that when you sit in front of the camera, you have got to kind of get yourself spiced up for it, if you like. Because otherwise I just wouldn't be able to sit in front of a camera and on my own like this and talk if I didn't get the adrenaline pumping. So my appreciation to all you guys for your views, your opinions, getting involved in the chat. And like I say, thank you very much for joining me on short notice. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Take care, all the best, and hopefully I will see you in future streams. Take care. Bye for now.